Noonie! Mwah! That's what mommy says every time she sees me in the morning. That's my name, not Noni. It's new. Sounds like two, but with new. Daddy's teaching me how to write my name. I sit on Daddy's lap and write my name. Daddy holds my hand so I can do it. Daddy was always working before, but now he's not. Now he's always here. Mommy goes to work in Mommy's car. Daddy told me she's a real doctor. Sometimes Daddy says, "What do you want to do now?" I really want to go to the playground, or soft play, or swimming in the blue water, or number 17 so I can play with Sima and Nisa. I haven't done any of those things in 89 years. But Daddy says we can only speak to Sima and Nisa on the phone. So sometimes we ring Sima and Nisa. And sometimes we ring Uncle Tarif, who lives in Bradford. And sometimes we ring Nanny, who says, "Hola, mi nena hermosa." I've not been to nursery in 89 years as well. I think Mommy and Daddy must have forgot. Shh, don't tell them. Sometimes Daddy says, "Do you want to play in the back garden or the front garden?" I always choose the front garden because there's no bumblebees. I'm frightened of bumblebees, frightened. But Daddy tells them off and says, "Stay on the flowers, bumblebees. Don't come near new." They never listen though. Daddy always wants to go in the back garden because he's got lots of tools in the shed, and sometimes he digs, and sometimes he brushes, and sometimes he puts water on the flowers. And one time he painted the shed green. I said, "I don't want green, I want orange." But green is Daddy's favorite color. One time, Daddy made a den in the garden, but I was still frightened that bumblebees might come. I feel better when I'm sitting on Daddy's lap. Sometimes, if I do a really big smiley face, Daddy lets me play with Daddy's phone, and I put Daddy's songs on. Or go on Google Maps and hear that person say, "Turn left, right on Little Brooks Avenue." Sometimes we jump on the bed and I climb on Daddy's when he's a lion. But Daddy tells me not to pull Daddy's hair because it hurts. Calm down, Noonie Pie. Let's do some reading instead. Sometimes Daddy reads me Daddy's book, Hamlet. To be, that's not to be, that's not the question. Daddy does a big smiley face when I say that and records it on Daddy's phone. I like the book about the caterpillar who is really hungry. When I get really hungry, I want almond butter toast. But Daddy sometimes puts other things on it, like cheese, which makes me very angry. If I cry very loud, Daddy says, "Okay, I'll get you almond." Then we have to wash my hands because I get sticky almond butter hands. We always have to wash hands. I don't like washing my hands, but we have to because of the jams and the cobwebs. Sometimes we go for a walk and Daddy says, "Which angel shall we take?" I always pick orange. At dinner time, I'm allowed to watch news TV. But Daddy sometimes says he needs to watch Daddy's TV, which is just a man with a grumpy face talking. Then Daddy does a sad face. When Mommy comes back, I want to do a mommy cuddle, but she says, "Not yet, Noonie, I need to have a shower." I think she might be smelly. I never want to go to bed. I get sad. I want to stay downstairs with Mommy and Daddy and my digger. And sometimes we get snuggly and warm on the sofa. And then my name is Noo. Sounds like two. I'm 3 years old. Mommy is 4. Daddy is 6. And Nanny is 5.